Good afternoon, Taurus. So I will be doing a reading from today's date, which is the 4th, up until the end of April. I hope you're all well. And I will be basically splitting the pack and then working on the current situation at present and using the Celtic cross. Okay, so I hope you're having a lovely day. It's lovely and sunny here at the moment. Okay, so current situation at the moment, which is the 8 of Swords. Okay, and then we're going to get a card to cross. Okay, so what I'm picking up at the moment, the 8 of Swords, it's about restriction, but also it can mean trying something a different way. So with the 10 of Cups, that's crossing or complementing you. It could be both, I feel. The 10 of Cups, if you look into at the picture even, you can see there's a family there, but they're not actually together. So what I'm picking up is kind of for you to spend more time with your family, your close friends, and basically to spend that quality time together, because it's kind of like you're restricted and trying something a different way. So, you know, to kind of move away from that restriction is to kind of come into the 10 of Cups. Okay, and then we're going to go with the best that can be achieved in the circumstances. Okay, so we have the 8 of Pentacles. So that's, we'll have another card here that's crossing. Okay, so to take the lead, so the 8 is all about 8 of Pentacles, looking up to see what you have achieved. So work-wise, the person in the card, he's looking down, he's not looking up. He can't actually see what he's actually achieved, which I feel like you've achieved a lot, but you kind of feel like you haven't. And it's kind of like going from the 2, so the 2 here is taking the lead and making plans. So kind of like the next, how can I put it, the next kind of like step as well. So that's what I'm picking up from the best that can be achieved in the circumstances. And then we have down here, so we have the 9, so the 9 of Wands. So yeah, that's the card is all about you have nothing else to prove. You know, he's put both of his boots on, he stood there and he's actually ready. He's ready for the next step, even though you might not feel, because Wands, that's to do with action. Yes, you're ready for the next step, and you haven't anything else. Well, I say you haven't. There's nothing else to prove with the situation. You might feel like you have to prove to people, or you know, in general, that you, with your money or with your work, that you need to basically prove. I don't know. For example, you're running your own business, and you need to prove to them that whatever you're making, I don't know if you're making crafts, etc., that they're good enough, but they actually are. And you know, you're kind of like with your confidence, I don't feel like you're very confident with everything. But then you have, yeah, so it's kind of saying to me as well, the 2 of Pentacles, you're kind of juggling too many different projects. You know, this is to do with career, because obviously it's the Pentacles, but also juggling with money as well, financially. So it's kind of like focusing on the 1 pentacle to get that balance, and that's what I feel like you need to do, not to kind of take on too many, you know, assessments, or I say assessments, as kind of projects or whatever you have to do. Or, yeah, if you're studying at college, obviously then that would be the case. But yeah, so kind of just focusing on the one thing that you're doing, but you really need to do. Obviously people have like 2 or 3, I know, I wake up in the morning, I think, oh, okay, I have this to do, I have that to do, but actually you need to put the most important projects, or your whatever is the most important thing to do, you need to put that first, so then you have balance, but also make time to spend, you know, that kind of quality time with your family and your friends, because otherwise it just, you know, work can take over your life, as we know. Right, and then in the past you've had 7, so this is all about excuse me, I've got hay fever. 7, so about all the choices that you've got. So even though you might feel like, oh, this is so overwhelming, it's very cloudy like in the picture, you have lots of good choices, and you have had lots of choices in the past, but it's been very difficult. And then obviously we have the 5, which, you know, it's kind of like you've compared yourself. There's been conflict as well, and picking up conflict in the past. But then you've come from here, from basically all the choices, to this card here, where actually you've achieved a lot. So I'm just feeling like April is a very good month, and it's kind of like focusing on what, you know, what's the most important thing to do. You know, it's like, okay, well, I need to kind of like tidy my house, or I need to study, or I need to kind of work on this and that, and whatever is the most important thing to work on, to focus on that particular thing. And then we have here in the present moment, yeah, so we have like the Knight of Pentacles. It's been very slow, but also, it, you know, on a positive note, and I always look at the positive aspects of the cards. The Knight of Pentacles, you're making progress. It's really good. You've actually made very good progress, but it's been very steady. He's a very steady knight. He always kind of manages his money, and yeah, but it's kind of about, it's saying to me, it's kind of about the progress of everything and how it's going, and at the moment it seems like it's very slow. But then you have like the King of Swords, so that this king, he basically takes charge. So you need to take charge of everything that you're doing at the moment, with everything I explained. And then we can go to this card here. So the Emperor, so this is about coming into your power. So that's what you need to do. You need to come into your power, and you need to have structure as well. So that's the U card. My dog's just about to bark. And then we have here so Page of Swords. What's affecting the environment? So basically about, I'm just picking up, you know, I'm kind of channeling now, but it's like plans and delays. So kind of making plans is very important. That's what I'm just picking this up, but from the cards as well. And then obviously you have like the two pages. So this page is about a change, because there's been a change in, Bobby, come here, you know, in the environment. So a change has kind of like had an effect, basically. And then we have here, come here, let's see, so we have here the Sun. Oh, that's brilliant. And the Page of Wands. Come here, Poppy. Come here. Come here. Go. So we have the Page of Wands. Come here, Poppy. Come here, Poppy. Poppy, come here. Come here, Poppy. Come. She's not going to listen to me. So we have the Page of Wands and the Sun. So yeah, so it's, I'm just kind of picking up here, like with the Sun. I'm just going to have a drink a second. And we have the Page of Wands. So yeah, so with the Page of Wands and the Sun here. So with the Sun, you can see like I'm picking up this is to do with your hopes, and like if you look on the horse, obviously it's the baby on the horse, he's holding the banner, he's holding the banner really well, so it's kind of like everything's going with the flow, nothing's difficult, the situation is not difficult. And also about shining your light, I'm picking up as well. So also we have the white horse, and that's to do with support. So I feel like you need to ask people for support, even though you might not feel like that, and that's to do with the communication. You know, the Page of Wands is about kind of going to the next step. You know, he's kind of like, he doesn't know where he's going, he has no clue, but he's going to go anyway. And I just feel like that might have a massive, you know, sort of impact on how you're thinking. Or, you know, no one really likes to not know where they're going next, but that's just part of life, and that's kind of what we have to do majority of the time, because, you know, if we all knew exactly where we were going, it would just, yeah, that's just not how it goes anyway. So yeah, and it's kind of like, it makes it a bit more special when you go somewhere or you do something and you think, oh, is this going to turn out okay? And then it actually turns out really well. And it's kind of like, yeah, all those kind of really nice, lovely sparks in life, I feel. And then we have here, okay, so yeah, the 6 is about new beginnings, making a fresh new start. And then we have here, oh, out with the old, in with the new. So kind of getting rid of all those obstacles in your life. And I feel like April, that's possible, because the Ace is a really good card. It's like, it's kind of saying, right, okay, you can do this, but you just need to get rid of any obstacles. And that's like with how you think. You know, you have like these cards here. There's a lot of pentacles. That's really, really good. And when you see certain cards, like we have the Emperor, that's like you've, and also we have, yeah, the Knight of Pentacles, making progress. You've made a lot of progress, you know, and there's going to be offers as well. But I just feel like it's saying to me, like, there's a couple of obstacles. You've got a couple of swords here, so it's how you're thinking, your restriction. Also on the side of like trying something new as well. And then we can go to this card. So having the strength as well, like the strength within. It's not necessarily about like the strength, physical strength, it's the strength within, which you have got. And then also, yeah, so kind of like from what I'm picking up here, it's about change, but less drama as well. So I feel like you're going to have less drama, but by making these changes, there might have been a little bit of, obviously we've had the 5, which is conflict, but there's less drama, and it's kind of all about strength and moving on and out with the old, in with the new. And then we'll go to this card here. So yeah, so this is all about, so the King of Pentacles is all about making your environment structured, and it's kind of making everything easier for yourself. So like, for example, like I've made this example, I think I said this in like another reading, you know, I had a TV before and it had all different channels and it wasn't set up for what I needed it for. And it was kind of like going through every channel and like, oh God, if only I had this set up correctly, it would be okay. But it was not, and it was stressful. So it's kind of making everything structured, easier for yourself. And it's kind of like, well, that then, you know, if you look at the King, he sat there very happy, and it's like all about wealth. To get to that point, you kind of need to make everything adaptable and easier for yourself. And I feel like that's going to happen in April, but you just need to kind of work on, you know, what we've said so far, or what I've said even. Yeah, so kind of with your emotions as well, we have like the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is about like, well, there's lots of meanings, but I'm picking up, yeah, it's all to do with your emotions. So we have the 9 here. So the 9 is like, yeah, he looks like, oh yeah, you look at the card and think it looks really bad, but actually it's about getting out of your comfort zone. And he's not as bad as he looks. Like you know, this is, for example, you, like you might have like bad nights and you're thinking too much, but actually it's all in your head, and it's all to do with emotions as well. So kind of to, you know, to work on your emotions, to think, right, okay, I'm going to put this into place with like the King of Pentacles has, and to get everything set up and to work on, you know, trying different ways, which is with the, you know, the 8 of Swords. And also with the 8 of Swords, it's kind of like where I'm picking up, she makes something out of nothing. Not that I'm saying you do that, but sometimes it's kind of like you're thinking more into like analysing everything. So like April, it's kind of like, okay, well, this is a great month. It's a really good month. People are like, you know, it's coming into spring and it's like a new beginning for the sunshine, you know, coming out of the horrible winter. And then we have here, so the Hierophant. Yeah, the Hierophant. So basically the Hierophant is a very good card because that's your card, and when you turn up in your reading, that's showing you have power. So it's about kind of looking outside the box as well with everything. I feel like with your health, you know, we have the Page of Pentacles to kind of research and not take, you know, everything. For example, I say everything, but with the advice from so and so, it's kind of like doing your own research. I'm feeling with your health, but also in regards to like the Hierophant, you know, it's to do with teaching and study, and I'm feeling like with the Pentacles as well, it's kind of like looking outside the box, and you know, it's like, okay, well, I'm able to basically achieve this, you know, but I have to take other angles, and that's what I'm feeling with the Hierophant, like different angles to make life much easier for yourself. Because, you know, Taurus, they're very very structured, and they're very good at giving advice, and with their work and running their own business and whatever, you know, with marriage and everything. And I'm just feeling like, well, not necessarily marriage, but relationships, and you know, it's very like, yeah. And I'm just picking up that, you know, it's going to be great, but you just sometimes have to do a little bit more research instead of following, not the crowd, but for example, you speak to a professional who goes, okay, that's, say, a professional, but a person, whoever you're speaking to do with your medical condition, or if it's something to do with whatever, person that's, you know, qualified apparently, but then, you know, they're qualified, but also you're qualified in yourself in like getting your own research for the situation. So like there might be natural remedies that you could use instead of something else which you think, is that good for me? Well, just because they're offering it to you and they're professional doesn't mean that it's good. So you know, that can cover a lot of different aspects of your reading, and I'm just picking that up. So okay, so now what we're going to do is add a wisdom card to the reading. So yeah, April's going to be, oh, I've got two here. So this card here, it's saying, a new start, trust yourself, push your fears aside. So yeah, that's what I'm picking up from the reading. There's a lot of fears, and keep the faith. There you go, there's your card there. And then we have here, so step into the spotlight. So keep your eyes on the bigger picture, as I said it with the Hierophant, you know, there's always a bigger picture. So don't be, and also don't be too sensitive to criticism, you know, people that are going to criticize you, as I said, with like comparing, etc., because you always find someone that's going to criticize you, and you just need to kind of like think, okay, well, that's your views and I don't really care, and I'm going to do exactly what I would like to do, because being strong in this life is essential. And then here we are, we have another lovely card here. So yeah, so for April, it's saying to me there's going to be like really lovely news coming in, announcements like for weddings and graduations, a time for, you know, celebrations with, yeah, it says here pregnancy, weddings, engagements, and you know, it's kind of like, and yeah, with regards to your chosen families and with your friends, well, say chosen families, that's friends as well, isn't it? That's how I see it anyway. So it's kind of like news worth celebrating. So April's going to be a great month for different kind of like joyful celebrations and news, I feel. And then I'm going to pick one of these symbol cards here. That one, so yeah. Butterfly. So yeah, so the glasses, that means basically putting up your boundaries and kind of just like the reading is saying as well, like going with what you think as well, also researching and basically not having these tinted glasses thinking everything's like okay or it's not okay. It's kind of like, well, actually working it out so they're not tinted. And then you have the butterfly. So the butterfly is to spread your wings, and that's exactly what you need to do, because I feel like, yeah, you're coming on really well in whatever, you know, however you're going to resonate with this, if you can. I just feel like, yeah, there's like, you know, we have great cards here, and it's just about balance at the moment. I'm just feeling like balancing everything is kind of a little bit difficult, but it's not difficult because then we have, like I said, the 9, which is like you have nothing else to prove. So it's just kind of putting everything, like I said, into practice to get to, you know, the sun, which is a great card, and I'm glad that has turned up in your reading. So I hope you can resonate with this, and if you would like to check out my website in the video box below even, then that would be great. And I also provide personal readings as well at a reasonable price. So yes, feel free to contact me, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.